All right, Manny Blue. Oh my goodness. Thank you for having us. Thank you for taking the
Be here.
time.
Yes, sir.
And we kind of just titled this episode Into the Deep Canadian Blue with Manny Blue. Because
Nice.
that is just, we're just bougie and we like it like that.
I like it.
So yeah, we're going to ask you, for those of you who don't know your music yet, that
Yep.
they're sleeping on your stuff. Just a little intro, buddy.
Yeah. Country rock artist. I used to fight MMA. Got hurt and found a guitar, and really wanted to and sort of pursued this here in Nashville. So, we like to play loud. We like to have a lot of fun, and I'm lucky that people like to listen to us.
Wow. Humble and kind. That's honestly, love it, love it, love it for sure. Dude, yeah. So we're gonna go starting on the questions, but
Cool.
so you went to Abbott.
Yes, I did.
We went to Abbott too. We were in creative arts media, and
Cool.
yeah, buddy. So
Yeah.
what program did you study in, and did you like it?
I started with, well, first of all, yes, I loved Abbott. Abbott was a lot of fun. I played football. I kicked. So
Wow, dude.
got all the perks of the football team and didn't have to take nothing beating. But it was cool. I met a lot of friends while I was there. So Abbott was for sure a really cool moment for me. What program? That's a good question. I started with social science. And I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
I had a psych teacher. I took his class twice because I failed the first semester, thinking like this is going to be easy. I'll do it again. And I failed it again. And I was like, this is terrible. So I moved into visual arts something. Oh, man, I forgot. It was more like the history of art. There was a lot of really cool I like history, and so it had to do with like the history of art and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot more fun for the time being while I was there.
Wow, cool. Love it, love it.
By the way, I just noticed your sticker on your hat. I love it.
Yeah,
I got a sticker.
yeah, I kind of like did my own thing because I was like, yo, it's the Jays, but it's because I love baseball. So like
Sure.
I just kind of like a DIY kind of vibe.
We'll send you a patch. We have new ink patches now. So it'll be better on the hat than the sticker. So I'll send
Dude,
one over.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. For the squad, I love it. For the Manny Blue crew. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. So the next question, Bella's gonna take it from here. You kind of already answered it.
Yeah, you actually answered it. It was if you played football, what position you played?
Yeah, it was kicker. I remember I took an absolute hit one time and I hated it.
Well, I mean, you did MMA, so I mean that's
I know,
savage.
but I was blindsided, and so I thought I was going to make the tackle because it was on a kickoff, and I thought I had it. And as I ran to pursuit, I got blindsided from the side. It was terrible, and it was already going into the half. And I was like, oh my God, I got a helmet to the arm. My arm was numb. I couldn't move it. I was like, this is terrible. It was the worst feeling ever.
Buds. Oh my God, that's brutal. That's savage. Wow.
At least in MMA, you can see the punches coming.
That is true. You have to anticipate it's like chess. You just got to know like the next move and so on and so forth. And like football, it's like you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Not a kickoff when everyone's running all the different directions. It was crazy.
My brother, shout out to Jack. God bless him. He plays for UConn in NCAA D1, and he is a savage. He's a QB1, sir. Oh God, he takes it like a champ. And he's just like all the injuries, he's doing physio day in, day out, and it's like
that's the one that's crazy to me too. Besides like anything happening on a kickoff, it's the quarterbacks, especially getting hit from behind, or even. I mean, I'm assuming they're so busy looking downfield that even if it's kind of coming from your side, if you're not looking, you got a helmet on. Like the cages, there's certain cages that are better to see, but I mean, at some point too, that you lose some eyesight. So that's wild how quarterbacks take those hits and get up and get ready for the next snap.
Honestly, and shout out to Sarah Beth because she is literally my old neighbor, your cousin.
Oh my God.
So yeah, dude, like it's a small world, but
wow.
Yeah, dude. And our next question was actually kind of, a little segue, I guess. And it was like, what part of Montreal and stuff and Canada? Bella was gonna ask that one. I took it from you, Bella. I'm sorry. You could finish it up, girl.
I think that was yours. Oh, maybe it was, yeah. No, what was yours?
I mean,
What part of
regardless,
Montreal did you grow up in?
yeah, it was just like, where are you from? Like, were you in the West Island? Were you off Island? Were you in the East, the West?
Downtown.
Like, downtown.
Downtown. I still got a place there with my brother.
Okay.
We share an apartment down there, and actually, that's where I was quarantined most of from March to September.
Okay.
We had played a tour in Toronto. Well, we had played it. We were on a tour playing a show in Toronto, and got canceled on a Thursday night. So Friday, I had flown down to Montreal, and my brother was having his girlfriend's party up in Tremblant. So I went to join them and got hammered for 3 days straight.
Atta boy, Bucko. Yeah, dude.
Back to your question at downtown.
Dude, I gotta tell ya, we were coming out to the show in Montreal, buddy. Like we were coming out. We were trying to get media passes. Yeah, dude.
You got that. That one was tough.
COVID
So to dive in a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
That was Thursday. So Thursday was my birthday. We had a show in Toronto. We played the Global Morning Show. It was great. Text, what's up? That was awesome. We saw you guys on TV. You guys sounded great. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. All this kind of stuff. Yeah. And then we started getting news that we might actually cancel the tour. And then we're thinking we're supposed to play, as you guys knew, we had Toronto. Mm-hmm. And then I forget if it was Peterborough and Oshawa at some point, and then Montreal on the Sunday. My brother and all of our friends and his girlfriend, the plan was to go up to Tremblant on Friday, have fun, and then come down for the show on Sunday. Since that didn't happen, we ended up having just a 3-day bender. I joined them. I said, hey, if I'm not touring, if we don't know where this is going to go, I said I'm definitely going to Montreal, and I'm definitely hanging out, and I'm going to go enjoy the weekend that I was going to miss. So we ended up having a lot of fun there, but it definitely sucks that we didn't get to play that show because we were really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We were tight as fuck too. It was crazy.
Honestly, we were amping it up. We were telling everyone to come out, and I think I got like 8 people to come out. They're like, yo, $20? Yeah, I can do that. I'll be downtown for sure. Because it was right after like Nuit Blanche. I don't know if you like ever like attended that Montreal, like kind of like
I haven't been, but I know of it. Yeah.
It's wild. Like basically like downtown Nash on a weekend, just a regular weekend in Nash. But for Montreal, it's like a big, because I mean like the vibes are obviously different. I was actually supposed to be in Nash in November, but COVID.
Oh shit.
I was supposed to be there, for like I got the Airbnb, I paid for the ticket, and American Airlines was like, you're not getting a reimbursement, girl. And I was like, okay. But shout out to American Airlines, like whatever. No shade, no shade.
American Airlines did you like that?
Why are you doing me dirty? But anyways, so we're trying to come out to the show, and the Record Breakers were supposed to open for you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's literally my friend from high school's her brother's band. So, and they're really good too. They opened for Bon Jovi at the Bell Center.
Yeah, that's sick. I know. Yeah. I found that out, but we had them and Brittany Kennel, who I love. I know Brittany Kennel a lot more. I met her here in Nashville. Actually, ran into each other. And actually, I was playing Blue Crew Happy Hour, and she had messaged me that week because there was a seminar in Nashville, and she was like, "Hey, let's grab drinks. I'm in town." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And when I realized, I said, "Hey, come to Blue Crew Happy Hour, hang out, and we'll grab a beer." And she's like, "Sick." Then somebody dropped out, and I said, "Hey, I'll do you one better. Do you want to come play?" And she's like, "I don't have my guitar." I was like, "I'll lend you mine." So she played my guitar at our Blue Crew Happy Hour, and the night I met her, it just happened that way. That's it seems like such a Nashville story, but it's cool, and she's awesome. So that would have been a fun night to meet them, the Record Breakers, and to get to play a show with Brittany would have been unreal. So hopefully we can do that again.
Exactly.
But
that's the vibe. That's the vibe for sure. So next question. Bella, you could take that one if you wish, girl. Pop off with the sports. Number 4,
Well, I think you and me had a different one, but I was just curious, what pushed you to move to Nashville? Did you ever think about like starting your career in another place, like Canada?
Yeah, actually, I always thought Nashville was going to be a spot I would end up in. I didn't know how or when. I honestly happened a lot sooner than I would have thought. But it was always a kind of joke with my parents, like, "Hey, you're going to move to Nashville. You're gonna not, that's where you're going to be." An opportunity came up to record down here, which is really cool. And then I met, we did it, the Leave It Like It Is album. We did it in 2 shots, and in between that, we went out and did networking stuff. I was with my old manager at the time, and met my current manager, Nathan, and his whole team there. And he's like, "Hey, bud, it'd be much easier to work together if we're in the same room." And I said, "That's all I need to hear." I said, "I want to come down and be busy." He goes, "We'll keep you busy, trust me." And that was awesome. So the record was done by the time I moved. Actually, I had 1 show left, and I've never said the name of the bar, because nobody knows, but you guys might know. You guys ever been to La Petite Grenouille?
Oh my God, of course, buddy.
Oh,
yes.
I had 1 show.
Oh, love it.
I had 1 show left at La Petite Grenouille on August 30th, and September 7th, I was moved to Nashville.
Wow.
It was wild.
What a Cinderella story, bud. Like, wow. So we're so proud of you. Like, a kid from Montreal, just living the dream. And that's the vibe we're on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're on that vibe. We're on that frequency, the vibration. It's like contagious. You could just get on it, and just like, you have a dream, you got it. We're working to it. Like, I started this podcast last April, and it had been years, and I was like, I want to do a podcast. And then I had people, push me and say, "Hey, do it." That was like, there's no time. Like, the president and the Bell is like, "Let me hop on your podcast real quick." And like, it was, now we're here, and it's like season 3, and it's like living the dream, doing the deed, and just like so inspired by you. Honestly, truly, like, Montrealers, putting Montreal on the map. I love it. We love to see it.
Honestly, I think Montreal country wasn't as big. I mean, still, I still don't like that Montreal doesn't have a country station. So that's probably pretty rattled about that.
It's unfortunately French.
Yeah. So that was part of the thing too, is I didn't feel like there was much of a, you want to be in a community. I know Ontario's got a good community of artists.
Boots and Hearts, buddy. Yeah.
The Boots and Hearts. There's artists that I've got to meet that became friends, that are super cool, and they all work at, around Ontario. And then there's the Alberta sort of scene. So there's different spots, but it didn't seem like there was much going on in Montreal. And now, Matt Lang and Brittany Kennel are definitely helping out, kind of spearhead that. And I'm trying to come behind them and support that as much as I can. But, I fell in love with Nashville the moment I touched down. And though I still love Montreal, and it's always going to be my hometown, of course, Nashville's unbelievable. And I'm glad that that I can help with in any way.
Well, we see you on country radio in Nash, buddy, making the charts, and honestly, like, it's so, like, I feel like, in Montreal, like, everyone was psyched, everyone is still psyched for your music, and the new, me and my mom, we can't, like, literally, like, I don't know if you put 2 and 2 together. I have the food blog on Montreal, like, I'm Christina, so like, it's me. That's me. So that is me, and I do dabble in guitar and singing and all that, and I love country. Like, I aspire to be like on the left. Like, I think personally, this is gonna sound really crazy, but Shania Twain is the largest selling country artist ever in the world, and I think I personally feel like Manny Blue is, like, to me, like, you're there, and you're gonna achieve that level. Like, I know it, bud. We know it. Me and Bella are like, yo, this is the guy. This is the man.
I love it. Man, we should do a podcast like this every week when I'm
yeah, we'd love to have you. Come on by anytime, my dude.
Holy shit. Man, I'll take it. No, we're definitely working hard, and we're trying to do something a little different. I want to create something a little bit different, and it might take a little longer, but I definitely love to support like that. But yeah, we definitely want to get to the top and stay there, as opposed to just
no 15 minutes for this guy. So no. So yeah, next question. How did you get into playing music as a hobby, and how did that mold you into the star that you are today, sir? And what was the transition like for you personally?
It was a weird one, because I always identified myself as an athlete.
Right.
Fought, tore my quad, won the fight, retired undefeated.
Love it.
And I ended up, wanting to look for a hobby while I was trying to heal my leg
Right.
before I could do anything. So find a hobby. BB King came along. I was just like scrolling around YouTube, checking out whatever, passing the time, and found BB King playing Thrill Is Gone. I was so mesmerized by what he was doing that I was like, I don't understand, because when you think of a singer playing guitar, you usually think of them strumming and playing rhythm, but he was playing a call and answer, like lead improvisation kind of thing. So it was really strange, something I've never seen before. I definitely wanted to understand what that was. And as I was always the guy that was able to sing, like in the group, so I always enjoyed singing, but it never was like a main focus. And to think that I can actually accompany myself and sing was quite a thought and pretty exciting. So I grinded on that and decided that that's what I wanted to do.
Well, I love that. We love that for you, honestly. Truly, yeah, dude. It's amazing to see. And I know that you mentioned you love BB King. You mentioned, we've spoken about it through Instagram DMs. You love John Mayer. You love the album Born and Raised, and in Walt Grace's Submarine Test, and so on and so forth. And it's like, buddy, like that's the shit. That I love John Mayer. He, like, people laugh and they're like, he's an ass, and I'm like, yo, he's a voice of a generation, buds. Like,
he's a voice of it's exactly it. He's a voice of a generation. he's now being the inspiration for younger, maybe people that are a little younger than myself. Like, he's the it's crazy because I'm a big Steven Tyler fan as well. And it's funny to see who his influences were. Like, he's, I think there may be even a generation between me and Steven Tyler, but it's just funny to see, like, he was inspired by people, and then, now he's inspiring people. And, John Mayer kind of fits maybe a generation in between. I mean, obviously doing different things, but it's just crazy to see, like, guys get, you just pass it on, and it's just unbelievable.
For
sure.
I love that. Learn something new about you. Learning, like, every question. I love that. Steven Tyler, honestly, one of the GOATs for sure. I think the first time I heard his voice, I was like, when I was a kid, it was like a live performance. My dad and my mom and they used to watch, my grandpa used to watch, like, the old, like the old, like, TV, like the DVDs of the live concerts or whatever, and you're just watching it, and it's like such a vibe. And it's like,
I still do that.
I love them. I love it.
I like to see how they set up their set, how they set up their set list, how they transition and all that kind of stuff. I love it. So
me too.
Sorry, I cut you off. Yes.
No. Honestly, love to hear it. I still watch, like, even on YouTube, they have a lot of them. And and you just watch free concerts, and it's like, it's a time tonight. That's what I'm like. It's literally like, some nights I'm like, hey, I have nothing to do. Let's watch a show. You know what I mean? And that's even like, there's like sites now, obviously everyone's transitioning to like virtual shows. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Scotty McCreery, but he played a show. Yeah. And I love it's very like Josh Turner, like old school country, a little bit of pop in there, a little like deeper baritone voice. Like, it's very nice. And he's a great lyricist. He's just a natural born, just like I feel like you are too, honestly. Like, we can talk Manny Blue all day, but we're going to spread the love around a bit. And that, we'll get into love to hear it. We'll get into, I just have a quick question for you. I assume you're familiar with the album, The Search for Everything by John Mayer.
Yes, I am.
Which is your favorite track? You had to pick one favorite.
Oh, favorite?
Yeah.
Search for Everything song.
Yes! All right, let's hear it.
I think In the Blood.
No, it's not. Are you kidding me, sir?
That song, I'm not. That song just hits different when it comes on.
Buddy, that's okay. Like, you stole my answer, but like, I'll accept it because like, it's the best. It's one of my favorite songs ever. Like, ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it's just so well written, and it's just cool. Roll It On Home's pretty cool. He's got that. He brought back that sort of Born and Raised sound that he had.
Yeah.
But people called. I mean, I'm definitely not one to start playing the Country Police, but people were calling In the Blood a country song, which
Police.
I
Oh, comedian too, eh? All right.
think it's fucking random, but hey, I'm here for it. I mean, look, we're gonna start to push the envelope really soon with something that's never a version of country that's never been called that before. So we're gonna be doing something really cool soon. But so I'm definitely not gonna play the Country Police because I think country is more than a sound. It's storytelling, and I mean John Mayer is one of the best in pop to storytell. So I mean if you're gonna call that country, might as well call all of his stuff country. I mean,
exactly. Why are you limiting? Why like Lil Nas X? Like why are you like John Mayer? It's genreless. It's like Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash. Like I don't know if you're familiar with like "Girl from the North Country." This song, like it's my favorite Johnny Cash song. People like I never heard it. I'm like, well, you should. And it's like honestly, it's like and Johnny Cash. He wasn't just country. He was gospel. He was a lot of things. So it's like you don't genrelessness. Like get with it. Like Tyler the Creator. Like. There's so many artists that are just doing it. Freddie Mercury, like people like what genre is Queen? You can't put it in a box. What genre is like Roddy Ricch? What genre is like Frank Ocean? Like we have a good friend, Fernie. Shout out to Fernie. He's in the music industry. He's from Montreal, Art Collective, Kids from the Underground. I don't know if you know them. They're in Montreal. They're an Anglophone, very much Anglophone from the West Island, music collective, R&B sound, like jazz inspo, but it's also like a little bit, it's like Taylor Swift. She was one of the like, I feel like not even the first, like just she made her way pop country and then she went into pop and then she went to folk and it's like here and there and all around. And it's like, why put a label on it? Why put labels on it? You know, I agree.
No, I think to me, country's just become it. I mean, to me, the country songwriting is not about a fiddle or a steel. It's about the storytelling. No. So, I mean, so anything can be country. It depends on how you want to wrap it. And I think that it's become a real fun community of people who enjoy, going to festivals and fun things like that. So that to me is country. So to say something's country or something's not country, I'm not going to play. I mean, I just think it's random. They called one John Mayer song, which is not what I think is most countryest song is, but it's all good.
Hey buddy, like honestly, you can nitpick like country wherever you want if you want to find it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really about get into the next question. Della, you can take it. Yeah.
Speaking about artists, what were your 3 most influential artists that helped you?
Influential artists.
Growing up,
John Mayer, for sure, as we've been talking about him for about a half hour. So John Mayer, for sure. Adam Levine, was in that mix. I think Steven Tyler too. Okay. I like guys that can sing real well and have a uniqueness to their voice and have this agility with their voice that is hard and different. So and I think that I talking about the generational thing is I think that Adam Levine's probably a guy who has a lot of inspirations like a Steven Tyler or anybody else. And so that's fun to walk that back, and see who were their influences and what did they like. And you can tell sometimes. So it's just cool. And, but Steven Tyler right now is one of my favorite, absolute. Him and actually, if I'll do that in 2 parts because I'll give you artists that influenced me then. Okay. Like to get going, and John Mayer's definitely one. Gary Clark Jr. was one.
Ooh,
Adam Levine. Yeah. Right now, I have taken a turn back. That's why I'm putting Steven Tyler in the right now. Okay. We'll say Steven Tyler, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. And honestly, Machine Gun Kelly's been awesome. Right?
Dude, MGK, buddy, we love that. Dude, we love MGK, bro.
Dude, I've been beating up that album.
Dude, he's again like fluctuating with the genres. We're here for it.
He's bringing back an entire genre that seems to have gone missing.
It's insanity. Yeah, for sure. Next question. Growing up, who are your top 3 most influential athletes or sports teams? Because we know that you love the Preds, the Nashville Preds. But were you a Habs fan growing up? I mean, you're Montreal born, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't. I was a Habs fan growing up until they retired Patrick Roy's jersey.
Oh,
And then
yeah, kill him with it. Yeah,
I didn't agree with that. So I kind of started cheering against them ever since.
For sure.
So, but I never thought of a sports team as that influential to me. It was always more of the athlete.
All right, yeah.
I mean, GSP for sure is one of the first
For
ones that come to
sure.
mind. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we actually, sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry,
no. I was just going to say, I actually met him one time. We served him at a restaurant that I worked at in Montreal.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he is, honestly, but I cut you off, bud.
Yeah, it's all good. I met him at the gym one time, twice, and it was super nice. When I was playing hockey, I used to love Dion Phaneuf, the young Dion Phaneuf. Hammer people. That was pretty cool.
Noise.
Man, I can't think of any athletes right now.
No worries. You can take your time on that. We'll head to the next question. So as you can see, like I love Nash. Like don't even at me, bro, because like I'm obsessed with Nash. I'm trying to get there. And so I have a Bluebird Cafe. Sorry, my phone's going off. Jesus. Okay, we're okay. All right. So I have a Bluebird Cafe, and I was trying to go there. And my dream is to actually do a collab in the cafe. That's one of my biggest bucket list. Because I know I'm gifted at guitar. My voice is pretty good. And I'm a good writer. I feel like I'm just I was born out, like I was just born, I flew out my mom's womb and I was like, I'm a writer. So like that for me, like even if I don't perform, maybe I can co-write something because, I love, Garth Brooks. He's one of my most influential, like I love who he is as an artist, and he's a writer first, but also he took songs from other writers anyways. So my point, I guess my question is for you, would you ever consider performing there?
Yeah. You just gotta get called.
Cool. And the Opry, what about the Opry, buddy?
Well, fuck yeah. I mean, those are, and Ryman too. I mean, Ryman's probably right on the top because I've heard that the acoustics in there are the best.
Yeah.
So for sure you want to play like sick venues, but I mean, those are some staples that, you can always dream of and you can always hope, but you don't know if it's ever going to happen. You got to be invited to those things. And
right.
I got to do Whiskey Jam, which is super cool, which is like the first step of Nashville shit. So
yeah, I love it.
Was awesome, but I mean, the Bluebirds next, and hopefully Opry and Ryman follow shortly behind.
That is so fantastic to hear, buddy. So we had a little, kiki on the emails with Nicole, and she was like, hey, can Manny drink some whiskey? And I was like, of course he can. It's a party. So what whiskey you got, bud?
Oh, I'll have to go get some.
You're not there yet. It's okay. You just start it's cool.
I'm still on my coffee. I'll drink a whiskey with you guys. Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is my go. Hold on. I'll be back.
All right, buddy. Yeah. So you got the Jack.
This is Jack. It's in a.
Fancy, bougie. Love it.
Yeah, I just moved into a new apartment and I got a little bar section and the decorators put this in and it says Tennessee and the glasses have Nashville on it. But this is Jack Daniels. I'm just gonna see if I can do this in the camera.
Yeah, get it to it. I love to see it, sir.
There you go.
Oh my!
For the next interview, but it's all good. I'm apparently known to have a pretty heavy hand when I pour. So. Oh,
it's fine. I'm half Irish. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
Like, oof. And dude. So next question. You want to take it, Bella?
Yeah. So talking about songwriting, what things, places, and people inspire you during your process, and what is it like?
Everything. I think that I haven't really. So I was songwriting when I first started playing music, and then I was asked. They said, "Hey, do you feel like you're an artist that feels like you have to write all your stuff?" And I said, "No, as long as force a song on me and I can pick it." And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, that's fine." And so Nashville is such a songwriting town that there's so many good writers that have publishing deals, and so I was able to get in touch with publishers. So for a little bit, I actually stopped writing, which I'm picking up again and gonna do with some really cool guys. We're putting together some really cool writing teams to kind of rework that muscle and get going. I mean, I think inspiration comes from anywhere. Obviously, going through a breakup, is definitely a good way to start. But also, I mean, I guess it's a good starting point. I guess I
Yeah.
should say, not the start. I don't encourage breaking up just for a song, but
Why not? Taylor Swift does it. No, I'm kidding. I'm just playing. I'm playing. Shout out to Taylor. Her stuff's great.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if you're paying attention to what's going on around you, there's tons of things that you can pick up on.
For sure.
I recently have a friend who broke up with her girlfriend, and she texted me and she goes, "Hey, I need your help." I said, "Okay, for what?" And she says, "I need you to make me a really cool fuck you playlist." And I said, "Great." And I immediately thought, what fuck you songs do I have? And I said, I don't have any. I have breakup songs. I don't have any cool fuck you kind of rock songs. So
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I put the list together, and I said, I think, and I got to writing this week on Thursday night. So hopefully we can pull someone out and write our own sort of fuck you.
See, I honestly, like, I disagree just a little bit, respectfully,
Okay.
because I think, from Love It Like It, Leave It Like It Is, sorry, it's Call It Like I See It. I kind of got the vibe, like, I call you like I see it. I'm gonna call a spade, and I'm gonna tell y'all like a big F you. Like, that's the interpretation of the song that I got, and I was singing that. Your chords are not online yet, and that's cool. Like, I play by ear anyways, so I kind of did my own little thing with it. But obviously, I would love to like actually have them online. But like, it's one day. You know what I'm saying? So
we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly.
We worked that one. I don't know if we're ever going to record it or if we're just going to play it live differently. But I do have a cool idea for rearranging of Call Like I See It. But Call Like I See It, it's funny you interpret it that way, because to me it's a love song.
Right.
So
yeah,
because it starts off with shit. That whiskey just hit hard. It starts about seeing her and saying that she's pretty and you want to call. I'm just saying, hey, I'm just calling like I see it. But I mean, hey, fuck, interpret it however you want. I mean,
maybe I just have a maniacal, morose mind, but like that's just like how I don't know. I write a lot of like darker comedy, like stuff like that. But like speaking of the new EP, New Ink, you dropped that on November 13th. I love the first song with it, like Sir Burnout Town, a banger, buddy. Holy, woo! That was intro. What was that song like for you? Where did you write it? How'd you come up with that, sir?
That song was one that was sent to me, and as soon as I heard it, so it was really fun to go through the process of selecting songs for the first album versus the second album, and mostly because the second album, we've been on tour, I've had my band, I got my guys, and I know how everybody plays, I know everyone's sort of attitude on stage, and so it's a lot easier to put something together that is more cohesive to what our stage show looks like. The first time it was just whatever songs I thought were cool that I wanted to do. But when I heard that Big Tom, my drummer Joey is a big dude. And so when he hits that tom and it reverbs out, I thought, I was like, that's Joe right there. And then obviously the song is really good. So made it really easy to pick that song. But that's one that I was like, I picked it, and there's certain moments, like I get the demos and then we can always change whatever we want in studio, but there's certain things of why the demo grabbed my attention, and that intro tom thing was definitely one of them. And I didn't want to lose it in production. So it was cool to be in studio while we were doing it and making sure that the things that I liked from the demo stayed in, and we changed whatever we felt like we needed to change.
Well, I love to hear it. Honestly, dude, like that's really sick. It's so interesting to hear that that's a demo that you guys hopped onto and like rearranged and like, made it your own rendition. And I love it. Manny Blues rendition, like a Manny Blues song, it's, I got the vibes. I love, like, it's very scenic, like off Island, I don't know, like I assume you're familiar with like, San Lazar, Hudson, like all that area. And that's the vibe that I got, like Rigo. And it's like, it's a little town. It's like, it's small. And it's like, this is a burnout town, buds. Like we're so much bigger, Bella's actually from Sherbrooke, Quebec.
Okay. Wow.
So she, she always said, you always say, Bella, like I'm not about it. No.
Yeah, and I think that the way I interpret it for myself, obviously I'm from downtown Montreal, not much of a small town, but I mean I think that it's also about being with somebody who, it could be out of a group of like a community or a group of friends that maybe people say you shouldn't be together or you shouldn't get back together, or and you kind of you just kind of don't care and you just want to right into the night with them. So
for sure, I get that. I feel like the first song that I ever heard by you was "Looking Forward to Looking Back," and that hit different. That shit hit different, buddy. I know that song start to finish. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I know it, and it puts you on the charts. I'm assuming that was the one, eh?
That's one that did well for us as far as streaming and stuff, and kind of really get things rolling. So it was super cool. We got to tour with it. I mean, there were some really cool moments on tour with that song, and we were playing in a show in Peterborough, and we waited to keep that to the end a little bit. So we're playing covers, we're playing new stuff that isn't out yet. We're playing the rest of the album, and we waited for that one towards the end. And as soon as the band started that, I saw there was a girl in front, and she grabbed her friend, and she's like her face changed, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is the guy that sings that song." And so I guess they thought we were just hanging out for a little bit, but then she realized that she recognized the song, and it's cool. It's my mom's favorite song I've ever recorded to this day.
Love that, Mom. Yeah, shout out. Shout out to Manny's mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we really love the juxtaposition and evolution from the album to the EP, jumping to like more outlaw rockabilly country, from like pop radio country, a little more Manny, a little less, the first, like, it's just, you could tell the structure was different, the genres were a little bit more fluid, and it was just so great. What made you decide to that shift? Was that always an intention? Did you just go with it and like it was just organic, or?
No, it was very intentioned. After the first album was done. So I'm not to say that the switch was intentional. The switch, I think there was moments we played on a George Canyon tour where we went across Canada and we played some really nice theaters. But Georgia's crowd, a lot of times are a little bit older and kind of want more of that traditional stuff. So they didn't like us too much a lot of the time, especially in like theaters. The bars, we were fine. When we played those bar gigs or the club gigs, we were fine. It was the theater.
Y'all wilding? Like what?
Well, they didn't like the country pop thing. And on top of it, I came out in sleeveless flannels with tattoos all over, and
come on, get with it. Y'all don't know Kane Brown, huh?
Well, that's it. So I remember the very first, so we were playing like 40 shows or something like that. And I remember there was a first venue, which we played back-to-back nights. So I don't remember if it was the first or second night, but we were playing, we played most of the Leave It Like It Is album. And then we were playing something like that, Tim McGraw, just before Hex of My Heart. Yeah. And as soon as we started something like that, Tim McGraw, somebody stood up and yelled like, "At least finally some real country music." And I was like, this tour is going to get long if this is it. And there came to a point where we were playing a really nice theater, and I didn't want to have that sort of like, man, I feel like I could have given more, but they weren't giving much to me. So I couldn't really. So I said, I don't feel like that. I grabbed the guys before we went on stage one show. We were playing, I think, in Calgary, and it was a beautiful theater. And I said, look, fuck it. Let's just go. Whatever, like make the ones that don't like us, they're not going to love us no matter what. So make exactly and reverse it. The ones that like us, because we had people that came up to us after shows that were like, man, that was so cool. I went and downloaded all your music. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I could have given you guys more. It's just the guys in the front seemed fucking half asleep and they were bored. So I was like, what to do? So I think there was an attitude we came out with for the second half of that tour that I was like, that's cool. And we were sounding good, but the songs don't really match. And, my lead guitar player and drummer are from the same, they used to play in a band together. It was an alternative rock band, and those guys can play loud and they can play. So I said, let's make music that actually lets them do that. And where the album sounds like the live, as opposed to, I was starting to like our live stuff a lot more than the actual.
I love it. I'm not going to lie. It was lit. Yeah.
And so we were playing like, and I was like, this is sick. And so when we decided to make the second album, I said, well, I definitely want to take a hard left here and add a lot more of the blues influence that I have growing up, like the Jimi Hendrix and Gary Clark Jr. and Stevie Ray Vaughan, some of that stuff. Added in with the guys that are doing it right now, Brittany Gilbert and Cadillac 3. So I mean, there's a lot of
I love oh my God, love them. I got introed to them a couple years back. That's so great. Sorry, I cut you off. I was just too
No, you're fine. You're fine. I love that you got that excited about Cadillac 3. They're dope. And so that was basically the inspiration for New Ink, was like, yo, we know what we do now, and let's just put that on an album and record it.
Okay, let's go. I love that. I love that energy. I don't know, like, because you're talking about La Petite Grenouille. Personally, I played Cunningham's out in St. Anne's, and I played
Cunningham's at St. Anne's. We used to do Wings Night at Cunningham's and Wings Night at Annie's right after, and then we went to Annie's for the drinks after the next night.
Yes,
sir!
Because Bella used to live right near Annie's, and Connie's like right off the street, and we used to just, I did a gig there, and I did a gig at Brewtopia downtown, just near Concordia.
Yeah.
And I love the vibe. Bella was there too. Shout out to Bella, because she's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And we did that, and it was a vibe. It was honestly I was scared as hell, because my guitar, it was not working on the amp. And then this man's was like, you could use my guitar. And I was like, oh, snap. But I did it, and I was nervous. And Bella recorded, and then I was like, I need to go to the bathroom for 10 minutes. I'm about to have a panic attack.
That's crazy. Isn't that a crazy feeling?
There's nothing like it. The adrenaline.
Somebody asked me, hey, can you come play this song at my wedding? And I'm like, sure. It was the James Arthur one, the one that went big. Say You Won't.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I've played shows, but not. It was a little bit before I moved to Nashville, so it's not the same shows I've played. But I've played shows. I've been in front of crowds, but I was like, I got to do all this stuff by myself with this guitar. Like, this is crazy. And they're going to dance. It's like their first, it wasn't the first dance, but I mean, it's their wedding night. You don't want to fuck that up. I was like, what is this nervousness I have in me? Like, I got to, and it's all finger picky too. So I was like, this is nuts. So it's wild. That's a wild feeling. Only performers can understand. Cause even it's a different feeling for athletes. Yeah. So like, sports is nerves, and it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But when you're about to play, especially by yourself,
oh my God,
in front of people, like it's just different kind of nerves. And hopefully you can get it all, bring it all back in and do well. But I mean, I'm sure you did. So I'm sure it went over well. But it's a different beast. It's a different beast.
For sure. Bella, do you want to hit him? Sauce him with the next question, girl.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
How long did it take you to find your sound? And do you still find like you're still mixing it up a little?
Oh, yeah. You said sound?
Yeah, because like you have such a sultry and grungy and aesthetically dope voice. Like, we love it. Your sound is everything. Like, you hear that song on the radio in the car, and you're in the car and you're chilling, and like, that's Manny. Like, it's Manny. And like, it's like, how did you get, like, did you just start singing and it just came out your mouth, or like, was it like a little refined? Like, how did you come up? How did it come?
When I decided I wanted to sing, I thought my dad would be a lot more harder to convince than my mom. So I went to him first. I'm like, let's get the mountain out of the way, and then we'll. My mom is such a sweetheart. She's gonna be like, it's good. Don't worry about it. So I told my dad, and I said, hey, I kind of want to like dip out of sports and kind of pursue a career in music. He goes, Manny, you should sing. If it's within you, he goes, you obviously need to take lessons and learn what the fuck you're doing. But he goes, if you think this, my dad always loved singing. We always used to sing karaoke together. So he was like, man, if you love singing, you should definitely do it. It's the time of your life right now. This is when you should. You're still young enough. You're not married. You don't have kids. You can just throw everything you got into it. And I said, okay, wow, that was so easy. He actually said, his words were, it's a mistake if you don't. I was like, fuck, okay. Wow. So I'm like, wow, now I got the blessing from him. That was a hard one. I'm going to see my mom. I went to see my mom, and she was like, it's a hard path. I was like, whoa, what the hell just happened? This is not what I thought this was going to be. But she's cool, and she's obviously supportive. It just more of like, hey, it's not like just sing and you make it. I'm like, yeah, I know. Because she knows one of her friends is a really good singer, and she had a career too. But so she was like, but it's hard to get there. Like it's quite a beast.
Journey.
And I said, I know, but I'm willing to. One thing I've always trusted in myself was my work ethic. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with skill. It has nothing
Discipline.
to do. It's just discipline and work ethic. And I had it in MMA, and I had it in hockey. I had it in football, and I'm going to have it, and I do have it in music. So I was like, I can go ahead. My dad always said, he goes, your tone is crazy. Just get on pitch more.
It is.
And he goes, your tone is sick. And I said, well, if I can make this work, then let's go. And so here we are.
Love that so much. Well, if y'all haven't streamed it or download or bought it, like, y'all better tune in to, like, honestly, like, if you're not listening to Manny Blue, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Honestly, for real, dude. Like, I swear, because everyone's like, yo, there's no like country musicians out of Montreal. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what people tell you, like, there's no good music nowadays. And you're like, what are you talking about, buds? Like, what are you talking about? I swear, like, we have like 10, at least 10 playlists chock full of songs on our Spotify, on Canadian Tea Production Spotify. And it's like, we got music for ya.
Yeah. There's fun.
So it's like, stream New Ink, stream Leave It Like It Is. And honestly, buddy, it has been a pleasure. It has been an absolute time.
Yes, of course.
Did you have any? Sorry, go ahead. I keep it.
No, I was gonna say anytime. I was looking forward to this one. I actually screwed up and thought it was yesterday, so I got all ready yesterday and realized that when I went to click the link, it wasn't there. So I was like, wow, I'm a doofus. But I was looking
better
forward
early than late, buds. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I would say that. Like, I'm a stickler for like being on time. I was actually in the Navy for 5 years. God, that was crazy. Canadian. I was a reservist, so I could choose when I was deployed. But the thing is, they tell you, if you're not on time, you're 15 minutes late. So you better be 15 minutes.
Oh, my dad's 15 minutes early, and if you're not there when he's there, you're late. So
that's the one. So it's like, we appreciate that enthusiasm, pal.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, it's professionalism, right? So I'm here I'm here for it, and you guys are willing to talk to me and let me talk about myself and my music. So I mean, why not, right? There's no reason.
For sure, buddy. So like, just like, we'll leave it. Like, I don't know if Bella wanted to ask anything in particular.
Actually, I do have a question. Speaking about your time in MMA, do you feel like you brought that within your career in music?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I did MMA when I was between 16 and 20, and about 2021 is when I stopped. I've learned so many lessons in MMA, and my trainer is Nordine Taleb, who are now friends, because I don't train anymore, but so we became friends. He's a French fighter that fought in the UFC, and he's unbelievable. And there's so many lessons he taught me in the gym that is so, it makes everything clearer. And when people, like, there's common sense that people are lacking that drives me up the wall, because it seems so simple. And that's because it's black or white, or you're getting punched in the face, right? So, I mean, and you can always adapt that to life. And I think that I've learned so much throughout the way. And I think it was such an interesting time that I got into MMA. So even forget about the one fight and forget about that, just the lessons I learned. And I mean, you get your ass whooped, you're going to get humbled pretty quick, so there's it's all about respect and everything like that. So I think I've learned so much in those 4 years that are so valuable right now. It's almost, I started that 10 years ago. So it's crazy. So yeah, definitely. And I've got a couple of tattoos, and the one on my hand is actually kind of a tribute to him, because he always said, make them miss, make them pay. And it's kind of like, that's it. And actually, I always liked the brass knuckles idea for a hand tattoo, but I always thought it was kind of douchey until I was out. Actually, we were out in Montreal, and we're at a cigar lounge, and we're hanging out, and I had rings on, and the bartender goes, and we're just like, we're catching up. This is like as soon as things started opening up again after COVID and all that kind of stuff. And so we were hanging out, and he said, as we're just, chilling, and the bartender was a little nosy, so it was kind of annoying, but she was like,
Shut up.
yeah. She's like, oh my God, with all those rings, you can knock somebody out. And he's like, yeah, but he can do without it. And she's like, okay. He's like, he hits fucking hard. And I said, wow, thank you. And she was just like, whatever. And so then I was like, wow, just by him saying that qualified me allowed to get brass knuckles tattooed on my hand, because I always liked that idea. I just didn't want to, I needed a purpose for it. And then he had posted a photo on his Instagram at one point that was like his opponent missing like right over his shoulder, and he was like coming around and connecting with a punch, which was a fucking sick photo. And I texted him and I said, I DM'd him back and I said, hey, make him miss, make him pay, right? He goes, I can't believe you still remember that, fucking right. So I'm like, yes. And then as soon as I said that, it all connected, and I'm like, that's what I'm getting on my hand. And so
yes, buddy, love that. Honestly, for sure. So speaking of bars in I wanted to ask you, because I have a couple faves in Nash. Like honestly, faves, I sound a little facetious because I haven't been to all these places, but I mean, like, I love Yeehaw Brewery. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
That's where I did my album release show.
No, no, you didn't. For real? Yeah. Oh no, was it a like? Oh my God, go tell the story, please, sir.
Yeah, so they because they have two businesses in there, they don't really call it Yeehaw Brewery. They call it 6th and Peabody, which is the street, because they have Yeehaw and they have Old Smoky Moonshine in that same building.
Yeah.
And so we were actually supposed to play outside, and I'm like, man, it's November 13th. It's gonna be fucking cold. And they're like, no, it's not much at all. It's gonna be fine. I'm like, okay, you guys know better than I do. So literally the week before, they're like, yeah, actually, it's gonna be too cold to play outside, so we're gonna have to move you guys inside. And I said, that's okay, that's fine. Thank God they had a second stage inside.
Right.
But we got a drum riser for the outside stage, which is more of a square, and the inside stage is more of a rectangle. So the drum riser we ended up renting for the show is this massive thing. So me and my guitar player, because we're just three, me and my guitar player were like, there's like this little pathway that we can meet up, but otherwise there's just like dead center drum riser, and we're like, what the fuck? So, but it was super cool. They were awesome with us, and they did a really good job at the social distancing, which is why we picked that spot, because we knew we were playing, like the album release show was planned for Friday, because the album came out on a Friday. So we had gone on a Friday, me and my drummer and our girlfriends, and we were just hanging out, and we thought that it was awesome that they weren't serving anybody standing up. So you have to sit down to get a drink. So you have to be seated and you have to be distanced, which I thought was the safe way to try to promote a show. And it worked out, and it was super fun, and it was great to be back on stage one more time before 2020 ended. So.
Oh man, for sure.
So Yeehaw, yes. How many times have you been to Nashville?
No, I haven't, sir. That's why I literally never been, and I was literally supposed to go. Dude, that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to come out because I was literally booked my trip, sir. I booked it last March. Beginning of March and end of February for November, and I had the whole week planned. It was I was gonna see some of my friends in Franklin, Tennessee, a little bit outside, and then whole week planned. Booked my Airbnb, booked the flight, booked it, and then COVID, and I had to postpone it. But like it was June, July, and I was like, doesn't look like it's gonna happen. My friends were like, hey, like you can. I'm like, yo, everything's closed. Like it's not gonna be the same experience. I'm gonna have to quarantine. I'm gonna lose and I'm not gonna do it until I could fully have the full experience. You need it. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go everywhere. I'm trying to make a whole week out of it. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna bring my guitar and just go around and just play on corners, like do any karaoke, do any open mics. I have ultimately I have many dreams in my life, and I want to go to Nashville and do it right. So like that's the thing, that's the cheese, sis. Like, so it's like honestly, buddy, like literally.
You let me know if you come down, and I'll take you out for a drink for sure. We'll go to Red Door, which is a local spot that I fucking love. Yeah, we'll go.
You just made our day.
Drinks on me, and we'll go.
I'm gonna cry. Zen, like yoga, meditation. I did some earlier.
If you're, I don't know what everyone's schedule. I don't know when you plan on coming down or whatever. I usually hang out. my band's my best friend. So I mean, at some point you might be able to hang out. But we'll hang out all over the band and everybody, and we'll just chill. It'll be great.
Oh my god! It's like, oh, give me a moment, cause like this is surreal right now.
Red Door's my shit. Red Door's a shithole dive bar that I fucking love, and I've actually had a funny enough. I've seen quite a few people there, and I ended up having a shot with Morgan Wallen at Red Door one time.
No, Morgan! Dude, his new album, like I peeped that like the day it came out because I had the notifications on for Spotify, and like it's so good. Yeah. I'm assuming you heard it or.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely listened to it. There's he's got a fun thing that he's doing, so super dope. I'm a fan of Morgan Wallen and everything he does. So
yeah, dude, I love.
I mean, I've seen him there before, but nobody bothers him. The girls do, but we don't bother him. But then he was kind of hanging around the bar, and my drummer, he's from the Bronx, New York, doesn't give a shit, just kind of fuck it. And plus it was later in the night too, so he just didn't give a shit at all. And he's like, "Yo, Morgan, want a shot?" And he goes, "Hell yeah, man, I'll take a fucking shot." I'm like, "Fucking right, let's go, Morgan." And then I had a story for him because somebody said they were his publicists because we were. Yeah. It's a fucking long story, but me and Joe, my drummer Joe, we have this inside joke of whiskey glasses where we overdo like complete stupidity, the Southern accent. Okay. We're doing it at that same bar one time, and this girl just was like, you guys hate Morgan Wallen? And we're like, no, we don't. We used to cover happy hour, actually. So, no, we don't. I'm a big fan, actually. Like, well, why did you make fun of his song? And anyway, so we're going on with this lady. Is that a love? Well, it's because we were in a parking garage in St. Louis trying to park this van, and they couldn't get fucking done. And the song came on, so for sheer entertainment, we started making each other laugh. I mean, that's band shit. That's what we do. So every time it comes on now, we just overdo it, and it's just hilarious, and we make each other laugh, and it's like, fucking rights, bud. Yeah, fucking rights. And that's it. So when she came up and she was all like upset about it, I told him, I was like, "Hey man, I got a story, but I don't know if you want to hear it." He's like, "Fuck yeah, I'll listen to the story." Actually, some girl came and grabbed him. He's like, "Hey, I'm listening to the fucking story right now. I'll see you in a sec." And I'm like, wow, a lot of pressure on the stupid story, but somebody said she was his publicist, and he laughed at the end. He's like, "Haha, that's not my publicist. Y'all have a good night." And I was like, cool. I had a shot with Morgan Wallen, told him a quick little fucking stupid story, and here we are. So
yeah, I love that.
The album. Anyway, back to your question. The album's sick.
I wanted to ask you, buddy, what's your go-to? Because like I love the song 865, and it's like 865-409-1021, and I was like, is that your number, or like, is it for real? But anyways, what's your go-to?
I've listened to them all kind of through. I haven't actually dissected like them that much. So if that's the thing, then it might be an area code. 686.
No, like I assume it is. It was a joke. It didn't land for you. Don't worry about it. But yeah, but like any songs that stuck out to you and like.
Wasted on You.
Okay.
And Warning.
Honestly, there's not one song. Yeah, honestly, like there's not one song that I disliked. I'm not even gonna lie with you, start to finish. I listened to that through and through twice over in a day, and I was like, this is it, sir. Anyways, we have gone over an hour, and that is phenomenal for us because it's like we have. Thank you so much. Honestly, that has been that you made my whole month, I feel like, with telling me, "Oh, we'll have a drink in Nash and we'll hang out." And
if you come down, we'll definitely show you around, and we'll have a fucking night for sure.
Oh my god, is this real life? Yes, it is. End it on that lovely note. Have a great I mean, it's Nash time, so you're just on the cusp of the afternoon, I feel like. Right?
Yeah, it's 1 now.
Yeah, so it's like you'll enjoy your day, enjoy your week, sir.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
God bless. We'll keep in touch,
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'll come on anytime we got some cool shit going on. We'll come and talk about it.
Well, hopefully we could do it in person, what I'm saying, in our studio. Dope. And we'll have some snacks, we'll have some drinks, we'll mix it up, we'll mash it up, we'll chop it up, buddy. Like, I'm so excited for that site.
Hey, but jam and play some songs, who knows?
Oh my god.
What is life right now? Like, honestly, anyways, have a great day, buds, and we'll
Thank you, you too. Thank you guys so
thank
much.
you.
Appreciate
Bye
you.
now.
Thank you.
Bye.